Hello viewers, you're watching my YouTube channel Cricket, which is mainly about discussion regarding the cricket, world cricket actually, not just cricket of Pakistan. And today I would like to discuss uh, about one of my most favorite batsmen who uh, I had idealized, and during my childhood, I've been watching a lot of great innings from this man. Firstly, I would like to go into the history of some left-handed batsmen that the world cricket has ever seen. In which, if we go back into the history of cricket, the first name that comes to mind is of Brian Charles Lara. That was actually in the early 90s that he started to emerge as a big force in world cricket. And obviously, till today, he is considered as one of the best left-handed batsmen that the world has ever produced. Um, then we have some great um, hard-hitting and aggressive batsmen who have played very pacey and fast innings and actually changed the game of cricket once they started their careers. And the most hard-hitting left-handed batsman that comes to my mind is again from West Indies, that is Chris Gale, who is still playing. And then there's Adam Gilchrist, the wicketkeeper batsman who was just amazing in all formats, whether it's one day or test cricket. And there's Gary Kirsten from South Africa, who was also a great batsman. So these are some of the less left-handed batsmen that comes to mind when you talk about uh, one of the best ones in the lot. And the great cricketer that I'm going to talk about today is he's from Pakistan, and he was a very, very stylish player. Actually, the kind of opening stand that he gave Pakistan is still yet to find a good combination of left-handed batsmen. His pair and his partnerships with Amir Sohail is considered to be one of the best opening pairs in one-day cricket. We have some more examples like Adam Gilchrist and Matthew Hayden. And these two batsmen were, they actually laid the platform for this particular pair of Adam Gilchrist and Matthew Hayden. That's the player that I'm talking about is Saeed Anwar, actually, who is considered to be one of the best left-handed batsmen Pakistan has ever produced till date. We have one more left-handed batsman, that is Fakhar Zaman, who is still playing, and he has a lot of way to go, and he has those glimpses of making him into the same league as Saeed Anwar. So talking about Saeed Anwar, I believe that he came into the cricketing era, one of the best cricketing era of that time. That was the 90s, the early 90s until 2001 he played. I consider that the era from 93, 95 till 2007, 8, where we had great legends of world cricket in every aspect, whether you talk about left-handed batsmen, left-handed bowlers like Wasim Akram, the best batsman, right-handed batsman, Sachin Tendulkar, Ricky Ponting from those times. Then we have right-handed bowlers like Waqar Younis, Glenn McGrath. They were all from this era. Wicket-keeper batsmen, you've got Adam Gilchrist, you've got MS Dhoni. So this was the the best era of world cricket from 93 till 2008, 2009. And then obviously T20 cricket took over and a lot has changed in the game, whether it's one-day cricket or it's test cricket. So coming back to Saeed Anwar, he was born in Karachi in 1968. Mainly at that time, we had players more from Lahore and from Karachi. So he was also from the Sindh province and born in Karachi in 1968, and actually made his debut first in one-day cricket. Later, he played test matches. And before coming into cricket, he completed his education. He's a qualified engineer from one of the very best universities of Pakistan. And I would say one of the most educated person in the team at that time as well. A very intelligent person as well. A lot of colleagues talk about his intelligence and the way he used to think about the game and his personal life as well. So I would talk mainly about his contributions in one-day cricket. But before that, I would also like to give a bit of idea at how much he has contributed in test cricket as well. He played around 55 matches, that is in the span of 1990 till 2001, in 11 years, and he scored around 4,052 runs, which is highest for any Pakistani left-handed batsman in test cricket at an average of 45.52, which is quite a healthy and good average. He made 11 centuries, 11 hundreds to his name, and which are also most by a left-handed batsman in Pakistan, and 25 50s, and his highest score was 188 versus India, that I remember the famous 99 series in which he played a very handy knock, which I still remember because of my early childhood days. So this was a bit of his contribution in Test cricket, and if we see, he can be said as one of the best left-handed batsmen of Pakistan, even in Test cricket, because Pakistan has got a knack of getting more right-handed batsmen, a lot of great legends, starting from Mr. Zahir Abbas to Mr. Mohsin Khan, Javed Miadad. Then we had Inzamam ul Haq, Mohammad Yusuf, Yunus Khan, Misbah ul Haq. Right now we have Babar Azam, Azhar Ali. So they're all right-handed batsmen. Coming back to the ODI format for which Saeed Anwar was known for, he was considered a champion batsman of this format. And as I said, he debuted in 1989, not a very good debut. He played his first match against West Indies and just scored 3 runs. That was in Perth in 1989, and he played till 2003, which is around 14 years. And in those 14 years, he played close to 250 matches, 247 to be exact, and scoring 8,824 runs, which is the third highest amount of runs for Pakistan. Above him, maybe there's Inzamam ul Haq and Mohammad Yusuf. So he's the third highest run getter, and obviously the most as a left-hander. So the best thing about Saeed Anwar was the element that Pakistan is still looking for, is still unable to find since his departure in 2003. That was the prolific and thunderous start that he used to give to Pakistan, that made the life of the upcoming batsman to the middle order very, very easy. And that was a consistent effort that he made all through the 90s. He has given great starts with Amir Sohail, his pairing was awesome. And a lot of starts that he gave were actually match-winning knocks that made a great contribution. And Pakistan and the next line of batsmen, as I said, used to feel very, very easy. And it used to put great pressure on the opposition. There are a lot of unique records to his name, as I've already told. Um, his average in ODI was close to 40, that was 39.21. And he has the most number of centuries in ODIs for Pakistan till date. There's Babar Azam, who is following him around 15 centuries, and most probably he'll break it. Then there's Mohammad Yusuf, who is second highest, around 16 centuries. But still, Saeed Anwar leads the way. And I think his 20th century was in 2003. So it's still 18 years till date that this record is with him. He has the second highest individual score, the highest score. Actually, he made the highest individual score in world cricket, not only just in Pakistan, that was 194. That memorable innings that he played against India in Chennai in 1997, and that record actually remained for 21 years. In terms of Pakistani batsmen, obviously in world cricket that was broken in around 2009. But the Pakistani batsman, again a left-hander, Fakhar Zaman, actually broke that record in 2018. So for 21 years, he remained with this record of the highest individual score. And what an innings that was. Not only that match was won by Pakistan, but it marked his name into the list of legends. Obviously, even before that, he was considered one of the best batsmen of Pakistan, especially as a left-hander. And his comparisons were made a lot at that time with Sachin Tendulkar, who happens to debut obviously at the same time, 1989, but played a lot more matches. And Saeed Anwar had to say goodbye in 2003. As far as the locations are concerned where Saeed Anwar has played, there are a lot of centuries, mainly his 15 out of 20 centuries are at neutral venues. Neutral means mainly in UAE or in Kenya. Most of the centuries. In UAE, he scored 7 centuries. In Kenya, he scored 3 centuries. And at home, he has 3 centuries in Pakistan. So around, you can say 13 centuries are these that I've already mentioned. And if we talk about his career, his first century came in 1990, 1 year after his debut. That was in Australia, actually, against Sri Lanka in Adelaide. And this was actually his first 50-plus score as well. This was his 12th match, and before this, he had not scored even a single 50. So his 12th match, the first score above 50, he converts it into 100, and that's against Sri Lanka. Then he scored 3 consecutive centuries in Sharjah in the year 1993 versus Sri Lanka, then against West Indies, then against Sri Lanka, and then again 2 consecutive centuries in Sharjah. That was again against New Zealand and Sri Lanka. So Sharjah has been a very favorite venue for Saeed Anwar, and he scored a lot over there. Since he's played around 14 years of cricket and a lot of unique records to his name, maybe I'll be not able to mention each and every record. So you can obviously correct me or add it to my information. Let's talk about the years in which he's been very prolific. In 1993, that was the fourth year of his career, he scored around 4 centuries. And again in 96 and 97, he scored 3 centuries each. So this was the peak of his career, and he was just all over the bowlers at that time. World-class attacks that he has played, whether it's Glenn McGrath or Shane Warne at that time. From Australia, there was Damien Fleming. From South Africa, there was Alan Donald, Sean Pollock, and from West Indies, there was Curtly Ambrose, Ian Bishop, Courtney Walsh, and from Sri Lanka, obviously, Chaminda Vas, Muthaiya Muralidharan. I would like to mention that Muralidharan used to fear him a lot. A legendary spin bowler has said it at few occasions that Saeed Anwar was one of the batsmen that I used to really be tensed about, because he used to smash a lot. And that's a trademark of Saeed Anwar. And when he keeps going, he is ruthless and he doesn't spare the bowlers. Again, the year 1996, where he scored 3 individual centuries, was the year that he made most runs of his career as well. Out of the 8,824 runs that he scored in 1996, he made 1,595 runs, of the most of his years, the most in his total career span. So he's been a very dominating batsman of his times, and his pair and partnerships with Saeed Anwar, with Amir Sohail, are still remembered. Pakistan has yet been unable to find a good opening pair, whether it's in one days or in Test cricket. And Saeed Anwar's presence and his contributions, no doubt, are enormous and humongous. That's all that I like to add, and definitely I'll come up with some more videos regarding some more legends of the game of world cricket. Thank you so much.